Welcome back to Geek Theology, where music, ministry, and nerd culture all come to hang out. Our last episode was an intro into Ready Player One, one of the coolest sci-fi books in years. If you missed out on that, click here to get caught up, and be sure to subscribe and click that little bell icon so you don't miss anything else. But assuming you're up to speed, it's time to answer the question, why should you care? There are so many things about this book and hopefully movie that I love that you'll probably dig too. And the first is the nostalgia and nerddom.
Nerd alert!
This book references so many classic video games, TV shows, movies, anime, songs, and comic books that if you're a fanboy like me, the nerdgasm might actually kill you. The virtual reality universe called the Oasis contains thousands of planets and worlds, and many of them are exact replicas of classic locations from pop culture. That means you can actually go to Hogwarts, or Middle Earth, or Oa. You can hang out on the Death Star, or the Enterprise, or the Galactica. You can gallop next to Monty Python, raid tombs with Indiana Jones, rip through time next to whichever doctor you like. Man, there's an entire galaxy called the Whedonverse. The Whedonverse. It's an endless virtual universe where you can go anywhere, be anyone, and do anything. Too much awesome. Plus, James Halliday's video message insisted that having a thorough knowledge of all the stuff he loved growing up in the 1980s would be essential to finding his egg. So if you're a child of the late 20th century like me, get ready for the ultimate trip down memory lane. Family Ties, Ultraman, Rush, Schoolhouse Rock, The Goonies, The Muppet Show, and Dungeons & Dragons are just a few of the numerous references made in this book that had me giggling like a 3-year-old girl. I mean, I didn't actually giggle like a 3-year-old girl. It's a figure of speech. Anyway, even if you don't get any of that stuff, I know you'll appreciate the escape from reality.
Why, oh why didn't I take the blue pill?
You're watching this video, which means you have internet, which means you probably understand even a tiny bit how much the internet has totally changed human society. Well, the Oasis is pretty much the internet all grown up. And all the benefits and issues that come with the digital age are reflected in this book. We all know people who spend more time online than they do in the real world. I mean, maybe that's you. Well, in Ready Player One, everybody does that. All the time. People go to work, go to school, shop, travel, hang out, and do everything you can do through virtual reality. And especially if you're an egg hunter or gunter like the main character, you spend every free moment checking out of reality and into the Oasis. To some of you, that might sound sad. To others, it might sound familiar. But either way, we're gonna have to get ready for it, because the last thing I loved about this book is that one day this will be non-fiction. Ready Player One paints one of the most realistic portraits of the future I've ever seen. The economic, environmental, and political issues that we're facing right now are all carried to their logical progression in this book. So it's not a stretch at all to see our world looking just like theirs in 20 or 30 years. Also, the visor and haptic gloves people use to access the Oasis look an awful lot like the VR gaming gear that's on the market right now. I mean, I've had the PlayStation VR system for a few months now, and it's already pretty mind-blowing. So bottom line, it's only a matter of time before the Oasis or something just like it becomes real. And I, for one, cannot wait. Mostly. Which brings us to the final boss of our discussion, the what can we learn level of our quest. So to hear my last 3 critical reflections on the book, be sure to tune in for the next episode.